Snow drifts across Europe like a quiet spell, revealing a castle rising through the fog as if waking from a forgotten dream. Across valleys, lakes, and mountaintops, winter transforms Europe's castles into scenes of pure magic. At number 10, Alcázar of Segovia. High above Segovia, a rare snowfall turning the Alcázar into a fairy tale ship frozen in the sky as the drone clears the pines and the castle emerges suddenly, sharp, golden, and impossibly dramatic. Frost clings to its sandstone walls, turning every carved detail into winter filigree, and through frozen branches, the fortress appears like a storybook illustration brought to life. Footsteps crunch along the stone path as the castle looms larger with every step. And at sunrise, warm light sweeps across its towers, glowing against the cold blue cliffs. Snowstorms soften the Alcázar into a silhouette floating between cloud and earth. Frost gathers along ironwork as winter breathes quietly across the ancient windows. And from above, the city fades into white, while the castle stands like a guardian of the cliffs. In stillness, it becomes the perfect winter postcard, timeless and unreal. At number 9, Moszna Castle rises in Poland, its 99 spires lifting like frozen towers from a dream. From above, its sprawling symmetry reveals itself layer by layer through the winter air. Frost decorates every Gothic carving, sharpening each curve into icy detail. And through snowy hedges, the castle expands into view like a winter kingdom. Across the courtyard, snow muffles every step as the grand entrance stands waiting. Sunset warms the spires, making the snow glow gold against the sky. And storm winds sweep snow sideways, turning the castle into a blurred silhouette of winter power. Frost crystallizes along wrought iron balconies, capturing winter's touch in delicate patterns. As the drone rises, Moszna shrinks into a perfect icy tapestry surrounded by white gardens. And in quiet daylight, it stands serene and balanced, an icon of winter enchantment. At number 8, Burg Eltz appears deep in a forest valley, rising from the mist like a secret kept for centuries. Rising through branches, the castle reveals itself dramatically above the snowy woods. Its ancient stone towers shimmer with frost in the cold morning light. And through winter branches, the fortress appears rugged, remote, and almost mythical. The stone bridge guides every step toward a gate worn by time and weather. Sunrise pours warm light into the valley, touching the castle with golden glow. And snow drifts through pockets of fog, cloaking the castle in shifting mystery. Frost settles into every timber joint, marking the quiet patience of winter. From high above, Burg Eltz becomes a lone stronghold in an endless white forest. Still and framed by snowy pines, it feels like the beginning of a winter tale. At number 7, Prague Castle crowns a city transformed into a glowing snow globe. Rising from the river, its spires reveal themselves through drifting flakes. Frost highlights every Gothic window, arch, and carved stone. Through snowy branches, the castle towers above the Vltava like a scene from a painting. Footsteps echo along cobblestone paths leading upward into history. And at sunrise, warm light reflects off the rooftops as the castle glows above it all. Snow sweeps across the spires, softening the skyline into winter fog. Frost clings to lanterns and ironwork, catching light in delicate detail. And from across the river, the entire winter city spreads out beneath the castle. It stands serene and timeless, the heart of Prague's winter story. At number 6, Château de Chambord rises in France like a snow-draped sculpture carved in perfect symmetry. From the gardens, its rooftops expand outward in geometric elegance. Frost settles on chimneys and stone curves, revealing Renaissance artistry with winter precision. And through hedges, the chateau appears balanced and impossibly refined. Snow-covered stones lead toward its grand staircases, echoing with centuries of footsteps. At sunrise, Warm gold washes across the towers and gardens. Snow sweeps across the lawns, blending castle and landscape into one winter tableau. Frost grips the iron balconies, sparkling softly in the morning light. From above, Chambord becomes a perfect winter mandala set into the Loire Valley. Still and majestic, it stands as the ultimate winter masterpiece. At number 5, Eilean Donan Castle rises across icy highland waters like a guardian of the loch. Emerging from the shoreline, the castle glows warmly against the frozen landscape. Frost settles into the ancient stones, deepening every groove and shadow. Through frozen grass, the castle appears isolated and powerful. Snow drifts across the stone bridge leading to its weathered gate. Sunset ignites the mountains behind it, turning the castle into a beacon of warmth. Snow whips across the island as waves push against icy rocks. Frost gathers along stone railings, etched in intricate winter patterns. From the sky, the castle becomes a quiet island, embraced by winter waters, and its reflection on the icy loch completes the perfect highland moment. At number 4, Peleș Castle rises from snowy Romanian pines like a royal winter retreat. Through treetops, its towers reveal themselves above the Carpathian forest. Frost clings to timber and stone, emphasizing every ornate detail. Through snow-covered branches, the castle emerges with warm colors against winter gray. Footsteps echo along stone paths, leading toward its grand entrance. Sunset turns the forest gold, and the castle glows warmly against the cold. Snow swirls across the towers, mixing with fog drifting between the pines. Frost gathers on carved balconies, each crystal catching the light. From above, Peleș rests like a jewel surrounded by snowy mountains. Framed by pines, it becomes the perfect picture of winter royalty. At number 3, Hohenzollern Castle stands high above the hills like a fortress in the sky. Rising through clouds, it appears as if floating above the world. Frost outlines the battlements in fine, icy detail. Through misty branches, the castle crowns its mountaintop dramatically. Snow-covered stone paths climb toward its gates with quiet determination. Sunset breaks through storm clouds, igniting the towers in fiery gold. Snow whips across the mountaintop, blurring the castle into the storm. Frost grips the iron hinges of the gate, shining in pale winter light. From above, snow-covered hills stretch endlessly beneath the isolated fortress. Still, against the clouds, the castle feels timeless, mythic, and invincible. At number 2, Chillon Castle stands along the icy edge of Lake Geneva, reflected in a frozen mirror. Rising from the shoreline, it commands the winter landscape with quiet strength. Frost clings to its medieval stones, revealing centuries of texture. Through icy reeds, the castle comes into view, stark against the frozen water. Stones crack beneath each step as the wooden bridge approaches. Sunset spreads warm gold across the lake, lighting the castle in soft fire. Snow sweeps over the water as fog gathers around the towers. Frost forms along wooden planks, sparkling against the lake's pale surface. From above, the castle sits at the edge of endless icy blue. Framed against the lake, it becomes a serene winter icon. At number 1, Neuschwanstein Castle rises high above Bavaria from a white forest, like the heart of winter itself. Through drifting fog, the castle appears suddenly suspended above the cliffs. Frost gathers on turrets and stone carvings, catching soft winter light. Through snow-covered branches, the castle feels like a vision pulled from a dream. Snow crunches along the mountain path, leading toward its distant silhouette. Sunset turns its white walls gold, while the forest remains deep blue. Snowstorms sweep around the cliffs, swirling the castle in cloud and shadow. Frost forms along metal railings overlooking the frozen valley. From above, the castle rises proudly from the vast Bavarian wilderness, and in stillness, it becomes the definitive winter fairy tale. One by one, winter's castles fade into mist, leaving only light, memory, and the promise of new journeys. If one of these places called to you, let it be the beginning. Your next adventure is waiting just beyond the snow.